Fanatics, DJ Bricks here, back for another video, and today I have a review on a LEGO Star Wars 2021 set, fall release, I guess, is what this is supposed to be. It is the Armorer's Mandalorian Forge. Is based off Mandalorian Season 1, excuse me. It is set number 75319. Recommended ages 8 and up. Comes with 258 pieces. And it retails here in the United States for about $30, where it is also a exclusive set to Target in the United States here, as well as LEGO stores and LEGO Shop at Home. But without further ado, let's get into this set, start deconstructing it, seeing how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. So looking at the first figure of the set, we of course got Mando. This is the same Beskar armor that we got earlier in the year. But he does come with, not the cape, but he does finally come with the jetpack. We finally get that in a Mandalorian set. But going over his other accessories real quick, he does come with his standard blaster that is specific to him. It's the same build we've been seeing with the Mandalorian sets, where it's just a small pistol with a brown lightsaber hilt and then that wrench piece at the end. And then he's got the other one, which is just that small nozzle Ultra Agents pistol there. Otherwise, it's the exact same figure from earlier in the year. You got the same torso printing, the same leg printing. You got the nice arm printing on both sides. I kind of wish we got that for the first version of Mando, but it's fine. And then we get the bright silver helmet here, and of course underneath it we don't get Jaren head. We just get a plain black head, which I hope one day we get an actual unmasked head. But looking at it, he does have the same back torso printing. It's just covered up by that jetpack there. So putting that back on. Again, it's a nice figure, and glad to see that we got his jetpack at last. So looking at the second figure, it's the Armorer. You get a nice array of accessories with her. You get a standard basic hammer that we've been getting for many years, and then she's got this bar with a clip on the end, which I think is trying to be the tongs she uses in the show. She's got some nice leg printing all the way down to the boots down there, and then she's got some nice torso printing. And on the back you have that little fur cape thing she has. That's something I kind of mixed about. I like that it's represented there, but I would have liked to have rather seen like an actual cloth piece. And then going up to the head, you got a standard black minifigure head underneath this, but her main helmet is actually a reused part from Gar Saxon in the summer sets. It's not a bad reuse of his helmet. It does capture the horns on the back pretty well, but it's not the exact same shape. But I can understand why LEGO opted to use that helmet. It's a quick, easy reuse without creating a new mold. It's just, and it does get the point across. It's not entirely accurate, but again, they went with what they had. It's got some nice printing on the front, but that does it for that figure. And looking at the last figure, we get Paz Vizsla, Jon Favreau's character from the first season there. His gun his big gun that he has is represented by another one of those small agent's pistols with a Technic piece at the end. He's got a nice brick built thing for his backpack. That clip there is to holster the gun if you don't want to have him holding it, but that brings us to this awesome new shoulder pad piece that he has. It's a newer piece that they reuse 3 different times throughout this wave of Star Wars sets, and it is printed pretty nicely. It's got nice shoulder pads, nice printing on the front for a little bit of his armor there. You got the Death Watch insignia on there, and then you got this nice brick built backpack that is attached via some 2 studs, so you can have him so you can add onto it however you want. But he also comes with that Mandalorian helmet that's very nicely printed, and underneath that regular plain black head again. Taking the full armor off, you can see his nice torso printing and leg printing unobscured by it. It's very nicely detailed. You got the kneecaps printing all the way down to the toes. It's the same detail on the upper part of the chest. It's just missing. It just has way more detail than that front chest piece did. And then you just have the back torso printing there. So putting the figure back together, that concludes our look at the figures. Let's move on to the actual set. So here is the set all built up. It took roughly about a couple hours of just average building here. You do get, this is built in 2 separate sections. You do get the main, I guess you would call it the back wall and entryway of the forge here, and then you get the actual smelting area, and it just separates into 2 pieces so if you want, you can expand your play area. It just attaches via a couple clips to this hinge plates here. So we're just gonna look first at the doorway here, and hallway, whatever you want to call it. Over here you got a nice little build using some nice techniques. You do have this light post on both sides, built up studs. Very nice knot technique there to make that light there. You do have a couple of shelves here replicating what you see in the TV show. You do get whatever this is supposed to be down here, made up with a skate thing, skate piece, and then you have an unprinted Mandalorian helmet just sitting on that shelf here. That is a very nice piece to get unprinted. You do have a sticker of the Death Watch emblem right there above the doorway. You have a broom clip there. Looking at the back side of this, you do have that same sticker on the other side, and you can see a little bit of how it's constructed. You do have this 2x2 space just sticking out here, which the box doesn't really establish what that's for. It's kind of just here to make the shelf here work, but in the show you do see at least a Mandalorian standing right next to the door, so that's probably what it's intended for. It just doesn't show anywhere on the box or instructions how to deal what that is actually for. And then going on the back wall here, as long as we're back here, you do have this area which is just the chest on the other side there. It's just the camera unfriendly side right here. So flipping it back around, you do have this is permanently fixed via that angle piece there, and then they use a hinge plate on top for whatever reason, to kind of make it look like it's hingeable and foldable, but it's actually not. I don't know why they decided to do that. And then you do get that chest I just mentioned. That actually is attached via jumper, so you can just pop that out if you want to. Use that as like a second ambush spot or something. And then this chest is very nicely constructed. This cabinet thing uses a nice amount of techniques, simple but nice. You got that 1x1 keypad tile that's been updated for this year, and then this is actually hingeable and it opens up, and you got a nice little sticker there. It's a sticker that's very hard to put in there, much like how they do those shelves. You can see I kind of botched it a little bit, but you do get her pliers hanging on the shelf in there, along with some other tools. And then if you separate this down here, you do have a couple of the crates that are used here for texture, while they actually can be dumped out, and you do get an extra bar of Beskar and silver pistol and thermal detonator, all hidden in those crates. So that is pretty nice for playability. Nice use of space, but that just pops in there. And then you get a little console over here with a couple of stickers on there for controls. And then you get this cylinder piece with Mandalorian printed on it. Try to get a zoom up there. Yeah, you get this cylinder piece with Mando printed on it. It's very nice. It is exclusive to this set. I thought it would have came in that larger set too, but it's exclusive here. And then here on this side you have that press thing that the armor uses to kind of smelt stuff, but it's just static here, and it kind of is free moving. It's not held on the best way, and you get another one of those bar pieces and gunmetal for another piece of Beskar, but that does it for looking at that piece. And then bringing over the actual forge itself, this is it's a little repetitive in its construction with how some of this stuff is built, but you do have this nice little table area for where Mando and the armorer sit to discuss things, and then you got the canister on there on the table, and they just sit down there pretty easily. They just attach via those two studs, so they're pretty easy to put down and get back up. You do have a couple clips around the forge here to put the armorer's tools when they're not in use. You get another hammer clipped on there. Here's an annoying thing though, with this forge here. You see all these right here, these are stickers, and this is a part that's typically not stickered, and I kind of wish they were, because these were a pain in the ass to apply, and kind of ruined the build experience a little bit there. And then in the center here, you get bunch of the blue flames there to represent the forge, and then you got this nice little basket here that you can pretty much just set in there, and it has a piece of Beskar in there, and you have the little claw here, but This does rotate back and forth, and it does hinge up and down, but you can't actually get this thing to pick up this right here, which is what it's for. So they just give you that just to kind of simulate that play. I kind of wish that the designer found a way to make that work, because that's kind of a little lame to have this be able to do all that and then just not have that there. But that does it looking at the set. Let's move on to box, extra pieces, instructions, and I'll meet you back up for my final verdict. For extra pieces, you get a smattering of stuff we always get, and then some unique stuff. You got some Technic, you got some studs and tiles in different colors. You do get an extra one of that new updated keypad print. You do get an extra one of that flame piece in blue, which is kind of a rare color for that. You get an extra skate, couple of extra Technic pins, and just a bunch of stuff. So looking at the instructions, pretty basic. You got the box art on the front there with the QR code for the building app. You got inside, you got the sort by bag, build by bag thing, as well as the building instructions call out. And then it's a fairly basic, straightforward build. You got 62 pages of building here. Some of these, some of the coloration on some of the parts throughout the instruction manual, I like that, where it's kind of discolored, so you can't really tell what part it's supposed to be. But luckily with some of them, they're kind of only one color part, so it's kind of fine. Here you got the cross-sell for all the Mandalorian Season 2 sets, some of the 2020 sets, and some of the 2021 sets, so there. And then on this side, weirdly enough, you just got the minifigure cross-sells, which has the figures for the sets that aren't even pictured on this other side, so that's kind of unfortunate and kind of weird. And then you got a cross-sell for the Skywalker saga that's going to come out at some point. And then you got the parts inventory, and then you got the win on the back. So there's your instructions. So looking at the box, it's that standard Star Wars design we've been getting since 2019. We're going to get a rebrand here in 2022, but you get the Lego Star Wars logo up in the corner. You got all the studs and parts in white there. You got Mando in the corner instead of Darth Vader, just to show that this is a Mandalorian based set. You got a nice product shot of the set as well as the set specs. Minifigure called out down there at the bottom. Top of the box, you have the armor showing the actual size reference, and then on the back of the box, you just have a few of the features of the set, letting you know what you can do with it. But that does it for looking at the box. So going over my final thoughts for the set, build-wise, it is nice getting a play set in the Star Wars line. It's mostly vehicles and stuff. But I do feel like they kind of dropped the ball in a few different areas here. Number one, that little plate on the outside of the door there. Don't know what that's for. The box doesn't make that clear. I offered a suggestion what it could be, but that is a little irksome. Another thing. But the bigger things are with the Forge here, the namesake of the set, where you have those stickers around the main Forge. I really wish those weren't stickers. Those really should have been a print, because they are a pain to apply and get even, especially on a curved piece like that. And then the other thing with the Forge there, I don't like the fact that you don't really have the functionality of being able to lift that crate out of the Forge. You had to kind of pick it up and do it yourself. But the extra insult to injury is that they made it so that the little grabby hand can move certain ways to make it look like it can pick it up, but it can't actually pick it up. So kind of bummed with that. Going over to the minifigures here. First time we're getting Mando with the jetpack. Certainly won't be the last, now that the 2022 sets are rolling around. But the other two figures here are the highlight. They're the standout. You get Paz Vizsla and the Armorer, two characters that outside of like a collectible minifigures thing or something, I thought we wouldn't get. And these are like the perfect characters to have in like a retailer exclusive set like this. So that is good to get those characters here. Nice to get them represented. Really ingenious part usage with the Armorer. Reusing that already existing headpiece in a creative way. Definitely appreciate that. Quality wise, have a couple issues with the instructions. Not really have, as I pointed out, kind of being a little bit washy with the colors sometimes in my particular case. And that is pretty much it for that. Price $30 for this thing. Well worth it. Again, this is a set that we normally don't get. We normally don't get actual play sets like this where it's an actual building in Star Wars that often enough. It's usually just vehicles. So with that being said, the figures that we have in this set and the overall build, play stuff, I wholeheartedly give this set a nice 7.5 out of 10 for me. Definitely has its downs, but certainly also has its ups. I really recommend this set to any Lego Star Wars fan, any Mandalorian fan. We'll probably never get those two characters again anytime soon, so it is nice to get them here. But if you like what you saw in this video, please give me a thumbs up because that really helps the channel. Comment below because that even helps even more. Subscribe if you haven't already and ring that bell so you are notified of when I upload new content. And comment below. I always look forward to your constructive feedback and your comments on the sets and engaging with you guys. But that does it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Until next time, keep building.